Hello, I'm Fred, the executive producer on The Division.
So what we're going to see here is an exclusive look at how The Division plays with a special focus on the Dark Zone.
Julian, you want to tell us what the Dark Zone is? What are we bringing to E3 this year?
So the Dark Zone is a strip of land in the middle of Manhattan that has been isolated from the rest. It is where all the most valuable, the most specialized, the most powerful loot resides. And that's where we're up to now.
So what we see here is a team of 3 players just on the southern tip of Times Square heading towards the Dark Zone.
Now Fred, are we capped at 3 players per fire team?
You can play from 1 player up to 4 players in each fire team.
Fantastic. So here we're behind one team that's heading towards this massive gate that looks like very foreboding, very mysterious. And that's on purpose because we really want the Dark Zone to feel very different from the rest of Manhattan. The Dark Zone is the area where the disease started. It is the epicenter of the pandemic. You have to be crazy to go there, but the loot is so good that that's where everybody is going to want to go. Now Fred, what's so interesting about the encounters that you're going to have in the Dark Zone?
So what's really cool about the Dark Zone is that it's a public space where PvP is enabled. So you will encounter NPCs, but you will also encounter other players.
That's right. And the other players are potential allies and they're potential threats, but they're also opportunities for you to get more loot, because we'll be seeing something here that's very special. So we're creeping towards this first area, and you can see the militarization of this zone. You can see the abandoned military trucks, the military Hummers, and over there in the distance, you can see a group of enemies. Now, are these enemies AI controlled, or are they other players?
This is AI controlled, and they're called the Rikers. It's a new faction that we're presenting this year's E3. It's basically escaped convicts out of Rikers Island outside of New York, and they're spilling into Manhattan to kind of take their revenge on society.
Now, what we just saw there was the first engagement. Now the team has taken cover. Remember, the Division is a cover-based shooter, and they're tactically building up their strategy to attack these enemies. You can see the amazing destruction, and some of the teams are going to use their skills. Now the skills are the way that we're dealing with classes. Our game is classless, but with a choice of weapons, skills, modifications, and equipment, you can really define your playstyle and create synergies with the other players. Now Fred, what's your favorite skill in the game?
So I just wanted to interrupt you there, Julian.
Yep.
Bronson is down. One of his teammates is going to revive him. He took his job too seriously there, running straight into the Rikers.
So he's revived, and if you didn't get there in time to revive him, he would have died. We found our first objective. What's in the box? An incredible, very rare light machine gun. It's a level 12 light machine gun, but it's contaminated. Now, all the loot that you find in the Dark Zone is going to be contaminated. And what you have to do is to take that loot to an extraction point, call for an extraction, load it onto that chopper, and get out of there. Now this is what we're heading for now. We'll skip ahead of the demo a little bit, just so we see the entrance to the extraction zone, which is located in Bryant Park, which is in the center of Manhattan. Now Fred, who have we caught a glimpse of now?
So this is another faction called the Cleaners.
We've just seen a pulse there, and the pulse is one of my favorite skills. This is the skill that you use that will really scan the area around you and highlight any immediate threats.
As you can see, the Cleaners are level 13. They're kind of tricky to take out here.
Lots of enemies. We're trying to flank them with the other players.
Someone used the Seeker Minder.
And he's down. Now keep in mind, killing enemies in the Dark Zone may also reward you with loot. The loot could be
on fire.
You're on fire. That's a status effect. One of the status effects that we have. We've just used a med pack to get our health pack as well. And we're approaching the extraction area. Now, if you look at the mini-map, you'll see a little purple area. And that's the ice ring in the middle of Bryant Park. And we're going to rush over there to be able to extract. But what's just happened here?
Oh, so it's another group of players, non-hostile at the moment.
So there's Jack and Sasha. There are only 2 players. Do we know if they're carrying any loot?
We can see the yellow contaminated backpack sticking out on their back of their ordinary backpack.
And another team is called for extraction. So there's a huge flare that signals that another team is trying to extract.
So we have 3 groups in the same area right now, and they're all going to that same extraction area.
Now, one thing to keep in mind is that the Division is an open world game. It's a massive, contiguous space. This is not a discrete battleground. This is a huge open world. And there are plenty of extraction zones within the dark zone. There isn't just this one. So one team's decided to go rogue, and going rogue means that you cross to the dark side of the Division.
Bronson in our team is down again.
Again.
Ryan, help him out. Alright, good.
We're reviving him. There's another skill, which is the little turrets. And if you see, around the Division stand, there's a cosplayer who's actually built a working moving turret. Give him a high five when you see him, because it's absolutely amazing.
So everybody's engaging everybody.
So as soon as you go rogue, you get flagged to everybody on the map. And basically that means there's a bounty on your head. The chopper's just arrived. Is anybody going to be able to extract? One guy down, all 3 down. So we've been eliminating that group completely. So we've stopped them from extracting.
Now we have this Mexican standoff here with the other team.
And there's all these incredible drops. And whoever wins this fight will be able to pick them up. And guess who wins that fight? It's our team. But by doing that, we've got rogue. So it's a calculated risk of engaging them and grabbing their loot, or letting them live and having everybody extract their own equipment.
So when you go rogue, it's telegraphed to all the other players in the area, and they get an extra bounty if they take you out. So
that's right.
You definitely take a big risk by going rogue.
When you go rogue, you can see there's a timer for the time that you go rogue. So now we have to defend this position. We've called for an extraction. We're flagged as rogue. We're obvious targets for everybody. And if we fail to extract and if we're killed, we'll lose all of the loot, all of the equipment that we've worked so hard to steal from other players.
One of the team just respawned and they're engaging us again.
So this is really a siege situation where we're defending the extraction point. Somebody's just hit us with a sticky bomb, another one of the skills where you can shoot an explosive grenade and then detonate it whenever you want. We just threw a health grenade, also known as a health nade. Trying to flank Sasha.
As you can see in this area, all of these covers are interactable. You can use them as covers, climb them, you can vault them. It's part of your tactics to...
The chopper's arriving in 18 seconds. 2 agents are down. I would have used that guy as bait to get another character to come and try and save him, and then get rid of him.
It's because you're evil.
That is because I'm evil, that's right. And now, we can extract in relative peace. You can see that around the blue skull, there's a yellow signal. That means there's extra bounty on our heads. The chopper's there. We attach the bounty. We attach the loot onto it. And we've successfully extracted.
That means that the fantastic M60 that you looted earlier